The following podcast has been brought to you by Bonesaw Entertainment. BonesawZine.com. Yeah, dig it!
Oh, hello. Oh, hello.
Hi there.
It is 2:09 in the morning.
You don't have to whisper.
Oh, I don't. Good.
No. we want them to be able to hear us,
Oh,
you
we
know.
do. We're in John's lovely new apartment in Sunnyside, Queens, New York.
Yeah, I guess we are.
Yes, we
It's the
are.
first time you're seeing us, at least.
Yes.
Welcome to my humble abode.
And welcome to Fuck Mondays. I'm Chris,
And I'm John.
and we've got a really big show coming at you today.
Yes.
But before we do that, we'd like to say a few kind words
To
to to some sponsors and one non-sponsor, but let's start off with the non-sponsor. We'd like to wish a happy birthday to Spaceman Frank, my humble co-host on Mun Opera, which is a Bonesaw product, part of the Bonesaw network. So we'd like to say a very happy and healthy thank you and a happy birthday to Spaceman Frank.
Happy birthday, Spaceman
May
Frank.
you rule the galaxy with an iron fist.
Yes.
And may you plant your seeds
Not
throughout
like
the
Ego,
dimension.
though.
Not
Not
like
please.
Ego.
Not like Ego.
No, and Spaceman Frank doesn't have an ego, which is good. That's why I like him.
I could tell he doesn't have an ego
Yes.
when I listen to him.
He's a very nice man who likes grindcore.
And he does like to drink.
Yes,
I don't think
Spaceman
Ego
Frank
drinks
can.
at all.
Maybe if he's depressed, Spaceman Frank can really put it away. Charming young fella.
He is. He sounds it.
Yes, but now for our actual sponsors. If you like buying meaningless things, and we know you like buying meaningless things,
Like Mahabas.
head on over to Amazon.com. But don't just go to Amazon.com. Go to our site, BonesawZine.com, and then scroll down a little bit to the Amazon link. I believe what we've got is an action figure of Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke
You
Nakamura.
click on that. You click on the skin. You click on the King of Strong Style, and you just buy something. It doesn't cost you a dime, but what it does do is it helps us. It gives us a kickback, and that's awesome because that helps us pay people. That helps us get more stuff for better content, and you help us help you. If that makes any sense.
Help us.
me. Help you. Help us help you.
Yes.
And on top of that, if you just scroll a little bit further down from that, this will actually help you and us. Going over to lootcrate.com. That's right. You go back over to bonesawzine.com. You scroll down a little bit. You click on the Loot Crate link. And by doing so, and buying something from Loot Crate, you will save $3 off of your Loot Crate purchase. That's right, you will save $3 off of your crate. And
$3 is a lot.
yes, it is.
I only have $1 in my wallet. So.
That's a cup of coffee from Starbucks. That's a regular cup of coffee from your local bagel. That's 3 cups of coffee. You get the bagel and the coffee from your local bagel store. That's pretty good. That's breakfast, lunch, and or dinner if you, have kids.
Medium iced coffee, Dunkin' Donuts.
And it does
That
not.
could get you that.
And from either of those sites, it does not matter what you buy. Whatever it is that you buy, you get $3 off your order. Well, you get $3 off your order from Loot Crate. And Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box that gives you about $50 worth of gaming geek gear, and that's pretty damn cool. And that's according to whatever theme it is. They have a bunch of different crates, but every month is a different crate. I believe this month is Guardians of the Galaxy related, which is the movie that we will be reviewing. That's right.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to continue donating to, if you want to just donate in another way, let's just say you want to give us $1 or whatever. Also, go to bonesawzine.com, scroll down a little bit, click on the Buy Now button, even though you're not buying anything and that will take you to our PayPal. And you can just donate $1 there. Leave us your email because this is very important. You can also do it by going to patreon.com/thebonesaw. And by doing that, you will be, we have a bunch of different rewards Most of them are in the form of voiceovers by yours truly. They are in the form of Macho Man, Dusty Rhodes, Vince McMahon, and just a personal thank you from myself. But you can just give us $1, or you could give us $5, and if you give us 20, I'll give you a painting, a personalized painting, which is very cool, very unique, and
Paint's very good.
everybody gives a different one.
It really
So-
does.
If you want to do that, that would be awesome, and we would thank you very, very, very kindly for doing that. So let's get on with the show.
Oh, we are doing a show.
We are doing a show.
It's
after
not all that fizzle.
It's no sizzle, because that would be boring. Also, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is coming out, so I don't know how nobody made a big fuss over that this week. That's kind of a big deal. I still love the games. I mean, they're going to be getting
The older games are
they're
fun.
they're
but
getting the Injustice treatment with the way that it's looking graphically. So that's one
Yeah.
thing that I'm a little kind of scratching my head on, figuratively and literally.
Yeah, you can keep scratching your head with that one because it's.
I think it'll still be a very fun game, but
maybe.
I feel like it'll be how people felt when Mortal Kombat first went from 2D ish to 3D with the whole rotating around and sidestepping and everything, where you saw a whole 360 view of the level. It'll be. I think the reaction will be a little. I think it'll be a little lukewarm at first, but then people will get used to it and it'll be really good. And then maybe it'll just go back to the 2D, 3D format like they do with Injustice. So, who knows? Who knows? I just hope that they still keep the. I hope they still keep the crossover, cartoony comic book in your face element that that the game series is beloved for. So we'll have to see. Hopefully they can get Venom and Carnage. Hopefully they can get Carnage this time. I would love to see that, because they've been trying to do that for a long time and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
All right. So without any further ado, let's get down to brass tacks.
Brass tacks. Could
Brass
we get to the Guardians?
Let's get to the Guardians. Guardians Part 2.
No video games right now.
No video games.
It's too late
Guardians.
for that.
No. They've been waiting 7 minutes. I mean, I think they can wait long enough, right?
No. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Let's get into it.
Alright, fine. We can get into it.
It was a fun movie.
Yes,
really
it was.
I had a lot of fun.
Personally,
Really good.
I had just as much fun watching it as I did the first one. Do I think it was better than the first one? No. Oh, this is going to contain spoilers, by the way. So if you don't like what the bad guys have to say, then just turn off this
Major
channel.
Spoilers. Okay, we're going deep.
Yep, we're going deep. Quite deep.
Knuckle deep.
We're going a full size Groot deep.
Oh, baby Groot.
Well, I guess this would be a baby Groot.
I mean, God, they just made you. I mean, the kids, everyone, loving baby Groot, man. It's just.
Everybody wants a baby Groot.
Yeah, everybody wants a baby Groot.
I want a baby Groot.
And it's not possible.
I heard Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are gonna adopt another baby Groot, even though they're divorced. I think they're still gonna
They really want that baby Groot.
They're just gonna get the baby Groot just to try to keep it together.
Honestly,
it won't work.
Vin
It just won't work.
Vin Diesel might need to get some type of award for his voiceover for being baby Groot.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was phenomenal.
Yes, just to say baby, just to say
Just
I
saying.
am Groot, but you carried.
But he
Every
does it
emotion
so
in
well.
Groot.
How does he do it?
I don't know.
I am Groot. I can't do it. I can't do it. I am Groot.
I'm Groot.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
I'm Groot.
No, I still don't.
I'm Groot.
No?
I am Groot.
You lost me.
Alright, fine.
I thought it was cool though in the ending. The credits. And it kept saying I am Groot and then it would translate it.
Yeah, that was really neat. We did see, there was a lot of post-credit stuff, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Overall, the initial plot here is, well,
There's a couple of
there's a lot of little subplots.
Yeah.
But the movie itself is about family. It had the entire undertone is
Yes.
family.
Yes.
And what it means, what it means to be searching for your family, what it means to realize you have a family, what it actually is. So it's cool and it's good for the whole family. And I actually didn't realize that they kept everything told, that they kept the dialogue clean. until the end when Rocket Raccoon noted that Baby Groot curses,
Baby Groot curses.
which I don't know where he's hearing that language
He's
from.
growing up. Well, he was with the Ravengers for a while.
Oh yeah, they're a foul mouthed bunch.
Poor scene, man.
Oh, I felt bad.
Yeah.
I felt very bad. But we're getting carried away, so let's try to explain the premise a little more. Star-Lord ends up finding his father,
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell,
Ego.
yes, Ego, and he ends up getting manipulated by him.
And Ego, and we do, it is confirmed that Ego is one of these Celestials,
Yes, he is.
And for those of us Marvel fans that know the Celestials, they are basically a group of about, 4 or 5?
I think 5.
And they were the beginning of, I guess, time itself.
Yes, they essentially created everything.
Yeah. So it's
I guess you could say they're essentially the gods.
yeah,
of the
we're
Marvel
getting
universe.
we're getting really deep into more powerful
Yeah.
people, which is leading us, eventually leading us into Thanos,
Mhm.
and even Thor Ragnarok, where it looks like there might be a second Celestial, which is the Jeff Goldblum character.
Yes. So we will be seeing that
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to what he does, because he's going to play it only as Jeff Goldblum can.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's-
he's gonna be great. He's gonna be Jeff Goldblum. All he has to be is Jeff Goldblum, and he will do fine.
Yeah, and what else do you really need?
Not much more from Jeff Goldblum,
I just hope he doesn't turn into the Fly.
No, I know. But basically, we find our heroes, and they basically are heroes for hire throughout the galaxy now, and they were helping out the I guess this perfect civilization,
Self-proclaimed. They're
self-proclaimed
very
perfect
narcissistic
civilization,
beings.
called the Sovereign, and their leader Aisha.
All these gold people.
Yes, they are perfectly gold.
Yes, but not as gold as gold dust.
And I must say, the actress who played Aisha was hilarious.
Yeah,
Like,
because they were so arrogant.
yeah.
They were so arrogant and so full of themselves.
And the one guy who lasts till the end at that part where they're trying to shoot down the
yeah.
Guardian's plane, and he doesn't get it done. And everyone's like, "You suck!"
Yeah, beautiful.
Just hilarious.
Honestly, I feel like they were some kind of an allegory for like social justice warriors
Oh
or
my
people who
God.
feel like or like elitist people.
You and your allegories.
There were a lot of allegories. Honestly, Ego. I feel like Ego
I know.
was an allegory for,
Right, for corporate America.
corporate America or just Western civilization in general.
The Bicky.
Because his whole idea is to just spread
The Bicky.
his seed across the galaxy and just conquer everything and just consume it and transfer and make it all like him. So I think there was definitely some allegory there for
No, I agree.
Western civilization or corporate America, how it wants to control everything, and how he basically ends up obsessing over it. So he's a workaholic. So that could translate to corporate America very much so,
Yeah.
where he sacrifices everything, even his own family and his own emotions, to carry out what he feels is his life's work.
Well, something that I definitely loved actually about this movie, that as I keep thinking about it, of course it's the first time we're seeing it, but after you keep thinking about everything, and what was the main plot? Obviously it was Peter Quill and him finding his father, right? But the subplots made this movie.
Yes.
The Gamora and Nebula,
They did a great job developing every character
Yeah.
a lot more.
And
They really were they really
Um,
fleshed out all the minor characters from the first film who didn't really have much of a backstory.
exactly.
It did a good job developing them, and it
even
made you care about them.
And then, of course, one of the funny subplots with, of course, our Taserface. And
Oh,
when
Jesus.
Raccoon goes at him, who is the new self-proclaimed leader of the Ravengers, after he pretty much, and it was actually, we were talking about it before, it was a really dark scene, if you
Yeah.
think about it, when Taserface, and the group basically splits in half from Michael Rooker's.
Right. This is after Sylvester Stallone basically kicks him out of the Ravagers.
Right, so we finally, we see Sylvester Stallone's character play, and he was Warhawk,
Yes, I
Wow.
think so.
who was one of the beginning, he was, him and his crew were like the Guardians of the Galaxy,
Right.
a bunch of thieves basically, but almost like nice thieves, and they have a code.
Kind of like Han Solo and Chewbacca,
And we-
except like a total team of them.
Yeah, and we basically find out that Michael Rooker's character, I can't think of his name right now. Michael Rooker's character, basically, That-
Yandar?
Yandu.
Yandu. There we go.
Sorry,
Yandar.
people. It's a
Sorry.
little late. It's a little
It
late.
is 2:24 in the morning.
So Yandu and had pretty much been helping Ego, right, this whole time,
Right.
over all these years basically, and he was breaking his code to help Ego because he was kind of honestly, I guess, scared of him.
Well, also he was paying him up very
Right,
much.
and he
he
was-
was highly
yes.
compensating him, so he got greedy and he regrets it
Exactly.
because he ended up going against his code, and it was his brethren and it was his family, and that ended up getting him kicked out.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And he's doing all this, and we find the real reason, basically, why he didn't give Peter Quill to Ego,
All right,
because he saw what he was killing
he was killing his own children.
own children to find his other half, basically, to help him
Well, maybe
spread the seed.
more his perfect son, I guess you could say.
Right, perfect son. So I mean, when we find that out, damn, Michael Rooker played Yondu beautifully.
Yes,
You know.
you really felt for him. You felt like, oh
And-
man,
And
here's a
you
guy
just
who.
see that change in character.
Yeah, you see.
You know?
First, it's like, all right, well, this guy's a cool. Like from the original Guardians of the Galaxy, we just see him. He's like, okay, this is one cold SOB. He really just doesn't care about anything, and he's just all he cares about is greed. He's influenced
Yeah.
by greed and that's all that he really cares about, greed and power.
Right.
And then in the second one, we see towards the end of the first one, we see him just kind of, not work.
Already his character's
He
changing.
starts to change at the very end.
Right.
And then where we pick off, he's not as aggressive as he once was.
Exactly. Him and half the crew basically want them to turn over Rocket Raccoon so that they get the $1 million from Aisha and her people. But he's like, no. The Krull, basically the group, that basically backs the Guardians of the Galaxy, won't, they'll come after the Ravengers.
Right.
Which most of them, half of them, and Taserface don't care, right? And then of course, this is where Nebula kind of plays her villainous part that we still see of her, just basically
There
wanting
were
to
a few running gags in that movie. One of them being how she never gets the ripe pear of fruit.
Yeah. And then when she does, she's like, "Yep, it's not ripe." But just to see, obviously, like I said, going back and seeing Taserface and his half of the group kill out Yondu's half of the group, and by just throwing them into space,
Yeah.
it's like, God damn, Yondu's watching the people that actually, were gonna stick by his
And
side
you can see
just
how
be
he's
killed.
suffering
Yeah.
because he's broken.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not even he's not even watching them die. He's just looking down, and he's just feeling terrible about
Yeah.
himself.
And it's like, obviously this is the Marvel side, Guardians of the Galaxy, it's lighthearted, this and that. So of course after every deep scene where it's like damn. And of course Rocket Raccoon brings it right back to the comedy
Perfect,
side.
perfect,
and
perfect.
The taser face, and it was just like, Jesus, so funny.
Like clockwork with his timing and with
How could you wake up in the morning and look yourself up in the mirror and think, I'm Taserface? What the hell did he call me? And then he said, you might as well just call yourself Ballsack or something like that. Like such a douche. Taserface. That was
Poor
hilarious.
bastard.
And then, the Nebula, she, the actress who plays Nebula.
Her character change was actually pretty interesting too.
Well, I mean, you finally see just the more and more hatred of Thanos, and you
Right.
hear about how bad he is, because we haven't, and I was hoping for this. It's Thanos, right?
Yeah.
Those
we
of
still
us who
haven't
know
really been
Thanos.
introduced to him.
Right.
We know he's a bad
We know
guy.
Thanos, right? But that's those of us who know about the Marvel Universe. But what about
Right.
just the other half of the moviegoers that are like, who is this guy Thanos? He hasn't done anything yet. I haven't heard of him doing anything yet, technically, right?
Yeah.
But we keep hearing about him, and now finally we're hearing about how bad he is. He made his two daughters continually fight each other, and the one that lost, he would literally rip a part of her
And make
away
her a machine.
and make her, trying to make her just a better soldier. That's all he was doing,
Yeah.
And that, like I said, that plays a part. Siblings, right?
Yeah.
We're all siblings.
Right. It
We all
creates
know better.
it creates a sibling rivalry, but it doesn't create a sibling. But not because she's a rival with her sister, but because she's just trying to appease to her father, and she just wants the pain to stop. That's why she wants to just beat her one time. And Gamora never really understood that, because I guess maybe she thought it was a game, or because Thanos just wanted them to be competitive with each other.
Right.
And she didn't really understand what was really going on.
No, she was just taught
So-
to fight, and
Right. So
This
it
is what she
broke.
did.
So this essentially broke Nebula, because she just wanted love. She didn't want attention or anything like that.
she just
And-
wanted a sister.
Yeah. And has harbored such a grudge but it's all really directed at Thanos.
Right.
And like Gamora is just really for her to prove her own self-worth, to just kind of build up her confidence to go after Thanos. And then she ends up changing, because Gamora is just kind of like, oh, well, I didn't know that this was what was going on. Like, why didn't you say something? Like, and then after that, they still kind of have like that sibling rivalry, but they end up resolving their differences.
Basically.
But they
after
don't. But thankfully
Nebula
they don't do it right away, because a lot
Yeah.
of movies you see where like 1 minute they're like absolutely hate each other, and then within like
5 minutes.
the
they're,
next
like,
scene they're just like
hugging
buddy.
and- Yeah.
Where this one,
fighting hand in
where
hand.
this one it was a slow build, and it took time, possibly days, or I mean we don't have a direct time frame.
And all you basically got at the end was me, of course, Gamora giving Nebula the hug, Nebula finally just giving her a quick pat, but then like, I'm
Right.
going to kill Thanos.
Yeah, and
You know?
it wasn't like it wasn't a big embrace. It was really just very gradual, and at the end, it
Yes.
still was just kind of like, okay, well, I guess we're even now. But I gotta do this.
Yeah.
Like it was more of an agreement than like a whole,
Yeah,
we're together thing,
exactly.
which was cool.
Now, of course, what is the one thing, of course, I don't like about this movie, and it's a lot of it's always, to me, almost in every, at least, comic book movie, what is the one thing I don't usually like?
Howard
Is
the Duck?
the forced, no, not Howard the Duck, that was hilarious. And the fact that you asked for it and you pretty much
I
got it
begged for
right
Howard
away,
the Duck.
And-
I needed to see my man
and
Howard.
you got it right away.
Right away, and he's hitting on some like robot.
Yeah, on
hole.
Yondu's planet.
I don't know.
And the Ravenger's planet, but
Some
of course
robo escort lady,
yeah.
lady of the night.
But of course, what's the one thing I don't like is the love story that you gotta have, the feel good love story. And I'm
It just
hoping-
drives ratings. So
I
so
get
they
it.
did have a couple of good like meta jokes.
yeah,
Based
which
on
they
that.
kind of made fun of the fact, which yes, that was
Yeah.
funny. But of course, they're still trying to push it. And of course, who's not gonna fucking fall in love with Gamora? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like
The
impossible.
woman is gorgeous.
The woman's gorgeous. Yeah,
Green, blue,
green. It
doesn't matter what
Doesn't
color
matter
this
which
girl
color.
is.
You know.
She will be gorgeous in every species.
Yeah, I hope they don't fully like show it on screen. They can just keep teasing it, like the unspokenness of it.
Well-
I like that.
Well, there was a meta
I just
joke
hope they
of
keep
that
it like
too.
that.
That how
Yeah.
like there's the tension, but they don't totally like get involved.
I
So
really hope they keep it like
I-
that.
They should.
We don't need to see them making out or having sex or, I don't need
Well, I
to see
think
it.
that would turn off a lot of fans to it too.
Well, that's what hopefully they're saying.
I think that's what. Well, I think that's why that line was in place.
Mhm.
It was a very meta joke. For like perhaps it might have even been ad libbed for all we know.
That would be hilarious, especially after watching that.
Oh yeah, I thought that they
YouTube.
relied too heavily on the comedy in some sequences.
Yeah, they were pushing it a lot.
Like
They're pushing it a
that
lot.
might be my one bugaboo about this movie. I think that they focused way too heavy on comedy. Not to say that the comedy was bad, because all the jokes had great timing and great delivery by the actors who were playing these characters.
Well, Drax and the
was-
Mantis.
Drax was perfect.
They both were absolutely hilarious and perfect.
Yes, because your boy Dave Bautista, just being
My boy Dave Bautista.
just being so great with his deadpan and his
Oh my
facial
God.
expressions and
His
you know,
dryness.
all of that he learned in a WWE ring about being a performer.
Yeah.
He really pulled that in there, especially with the facial expressions.
Yeah.
Like he really sold everything, and you really believed him, and you were like, man, this guy is Drax, and his like grandiose
So good.
gestures.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciated that, and the big booming laugh. Like you really felt like you really
I know, it's like-
got more interested in him,
it's
and
like-
how all of his lines were really just based around the awkward comedy situation, and the way that him and Mantis played off of each other. It was hysterical.
You are hideous. What's wrong? What's wrong? I keep imagining us being together.
I like a woman with more meat on her bones.
And then, of course, at the end, you are beautiful on the inside.
Oh, God, so bad. And she was beautiful on the outside.
Yeah, she was alright.
Well, I thought she was quite attractive. I don't know the actors I don't know the actress who plays her off the top of my head, but she was very good, and she was great with the awkward humor, because her character was awkward, and she really made you believe her, because she was like, I don't know any real social interaction. I'm just here to serve my master, which is ego.
Exactly.
So, but we don't know what happened to her species.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, she seems like she's the last of her kind.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting also, and maybe her planet was destroyed by
And
ego.
she just doesn't know because she was a larva.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, and that's, this is where we get into, to me, the best part of the movie, and seeing Ego, as, he seemed to be like this really cool dad, and he's gonna teach Peter his new powers, and, but really, he's just using him because his seed, he was the perfect son.
Well, because what he wanted to do was just completely
He needed him to get his seed spread everywhere.
and make it and make every planet in his in his image, or whatever his divine conspiracy was, which was to really just be I don't really know what it was that he was doing, but it was like a giant blue lava that was just going to encapsulate the whole planet, and it shifted to whatever way he wanted to,
Right.
but it was going to wipe out all life.
Well, right, and it was just he was going to be making his own planets, and that's it.
Yeah,
He would have been every planet.
and he probably, wow, talk about ego.
There you go, ego.
Wow. Hell of a Freudian slip with that guy.
Yeah, and we see him becoming, because that was it was funny. I'm thinking
Also,
of
the
movie.
planet, the ego planet has his face on the planet.
Well, yeah, that's from
Like
the
that's-
comics. That's,
right,
That's
but
and
that-
people were saying, how is that
it's
going to
like,
work? And
dude,
that worked
that's-
perfectly.
Yeah, it's like, dude, that is insane.
I know, it was
That is
really crazy
insane.
once you realize it and you show that, yep, ego is the actual planet.
Yeah.
And he's just, he created this human form because he wanted to plant his seed,
Yeah.
And that's how he did it.
And the planet, I guess, is essentially the super ego. There is no id, as far as we know.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, it was really wild. And I gotta give a golf clap to the visual effects team.
The visual effects team.
Fantastic work, guys. Very good.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the most visually.
And the audio, and
Effect
once again,
movie
whoever picked the
scene.
soundtrack, because the soundtrack was again great.
Oh yeah, you know, saying that
And the
it's
way
not
that it
as good
was-
as the first one, blah
No,
blah blah.
everything was
fucking
fine.
great.
It was. I'd say it. What was it better than the first one? No,
Again,
because
no.
you like being introduced to everyone.
Yeah.
But did I have as much fun as I was watching as the first one?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
And I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Also, the action was much better than the first one. The
Oh.
action was stunning.
Yeah, you know, and especially once it, you know, it had its like little action scenes here and there, like throughout the first, you know, 2/3, and then the last third. I mean, it really just amped it up.
And
it
they
was
mixed
just
a lot of they mix a lot of humor in between the seriousness and the action,
That's what they're gonna
which
do.
was good. It was a good
That's what
hodgepodge
Guardians
of
is,
things,
yeah.
especially the weird acid trip kind of thing when Rocket Raccoon and Yondu are and that other guy are just like hopping between the 7 planets and they're
Yeah,
like
that was
warping and
hilarious,
everything.
yeah.
That was hysterical.
The warping.
Don't eat mushrooms and watch that scene.
700 planets. Huh?
Yeah.
And then just start pop, 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 pop. You know, and of course, you know, we get to the end and we finally see Yondu become basically the
A
hero.
good dude.
Well, yeah, he becomes the hero. He saves Peter. You know, and it was really cool to see. You know, and Peter, of course, Peter was the one that basically
Also, his
stopped
character.
Ego.
His character officially changes once he switches the
Oh yeah.
once he switches the fin,
Yeah, once he gets
which
his
you know
fit.
is of course a metaphor from him going, you know, from bad to good.
Yes, the more metaphors.
It was a
Very
full
good.
change. Lots of metaphors and Baby Groot, you know, again being very cute but very funny.
God, Baby Groot, man. People, I mean, it's too bad. Obviously, we see in one of the credit scenes that he is grown into the
He's grown
teenager.
up so fast.
Damn, these kids be growing
He's
up, man.
becoming a teenage baby. He's becoming teenager Groot.
They lose their cuteness, and that's it.
And then they
Kick 'em
become,
out of the
Then
house.
they become assholes,
Fucking assholes. But God, Baby Groot, man.
mooching off of, you know, Star Lord,
He was too much.
putting his vines everywhere.
You could be the
leaves.
toughest guy in the world, and you will still love Baby Groot.
You will cry when Baby Groot cries.
Yes, you will.
I guarantee it.
Guaranteed.
I cried.
I didn't cry, but I was like, oh my God, Baby
Yeah.
Groot.
Yeah, you had stuff in both. You had something in both eyes.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
How could you tell?
I could tell.
Were you looking at me while I'm watching the movie?
Yeah, I wanted to see if you cried too, but I mean, you did.
You're
You
a
didn't.
savage.
You didn't cry. You just had something in both eyes.
You're a savage.
You're a tough cookie.
This Baby Groot. He's cute as hell.
Yes, he
He
is.
really was. You know, but you know, he gets the Yondu gets the, you know, Ravenger burial, basically. You know, sadly we do lose somebody.
And Stallone ends up, you know, in the aftermath,
Yeah.
decides to get the band back together
Tomahawk, whatever the
Yeah.
hell you call him.
with Ving Rhames.
Yeah, Ving Rhames. One of those things was Michael Rosenbaum,
Yeah.
who was you know, Lex Luthor in Smallville, so that
Right.
was cool. Now that little boxy thing,
Oddly
his
enough,
voice
was Miley
was
Cyrus,
Miley Cyrus.
which means Disney still got her by the gonads, or you know, her lady parts, or whatever it is. I'm not gonna say it because
What, ovaries?
oh yeah, actually, that's
There's
good.
nothing wrong to say.
No, there's nothing wrong to say that. I was thinking something else that a certain political power said months ago, but we're going to shift away from that. Disney apparently has
No,
done.
we're not
as a-
saying that.
We're not saying that.
No,
but
we're
I
not saying that.
I think you got an idea.
Yes. Alright, so we're into the credits.
Just don't
scenes
have
now.
to pretend to us, Miley.
Yeah,
You know, somehow
there he goes.
somehow Disney is Vince.
There you go.
Everybody is Vince.
Everybody's
McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
Everybody's Vince McMahon.
Everybody's Vince. So we're into the credit scenes now, right? So we had 5, count 'em, 5
Five.
credit scenes. And for those of you, of course, that are watching this, you probably watched it already. But only one credit scene meant anything.
Right.
Well, maybe 2 actually. I'm sorry.
Yeah, about
Maybe 2. But one with the Ravengers, and then of course we get the big reveal:
Mhm.
Adam Warlock.
Yep. Adam Warlock
And
will
we're just
become-
talking about him today.
I imagine they introduce him to. I imagine they introduce him during the Infinity War or whatever the Avengers movies are going to be. first being a bad guy in part 1, and then
Mhm.
slowly becoming good in part 2, and
Yes.
joining the Avengers, and possibly being one of the keys to helping them stop Thanos.
Yes, because he then I think becomes he gets the soul gem.
Yeah.
You know. So I definitely see him playing a big part. Now, as of right now, they're saying Adam Warlock will not be in Avengers Infinity.
I can't see them giving him a one shot,
But-
but he will probably be
They said he's basically going to be the
possibly
main villain.
That's what I was
villain
thinking
in
in
third.
Guardians 3.
Him and Aisha, who are technically twins.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How though? How are they technically twins?
They're brother and sister.
Well, I
That's
guess
what it is.
because they share the same DNA.
You know, there's
Yeah,
a
they
lot.
have some interesting
guy,
like birthing
You know,
process.
for those that are not, you know, the Marvel, you know, geeks and want to know more about this guy, Adam Warlock, he is a major player in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, he's quite powerful.
Yes.
He's one of the
So-
more underrated heroes.
Yes,
actually.
there's a lot to read up on him. He's got quite a story of, you know, and you gotta love those characters that go from other, you know, being the antagonist to the protagonist or vice versa. Those are the most interesting characters, you know, which I hate to kind of veer off here very quickly.
There's a lot
But
of
that's-
layers.
That's why they're doing what they're doing with the Captain America in the comics right now.
Mm.
You know, because I think people are a little bit stagnant with him, so they were trying something
too
different.
far off topic.
No, I know.
Well, because
Just based off the movie.
now they're doing because now they're finally making him a part of Hydra again.
Yes, because
They had started it in the first issue of
And
the
then
new
there was
Captain
so much
America. There was so much backlash that, like, for
They-
some stupid reason, Marvel and Disney buckled.
picked up their
And-
balls and were like, okay, we won't do it. We won't do it.
Yeah, and they dropped
Bunch of-
their balls.
Yeah,
and
hey,
just,
like, go with it, you know?
Yeah.
The backlash isn't always a bad thing.
Yeah, it's like, listen, that means they're engaging with your product. That means that they're interested and they're torn and they're reacting the way you want them to
Yes.
react. You want them to be mad. You want them to be passionate about it because now they got to see what happens next. And then if you buckle and you just ruin the story, then that turns everyone off. I'll use myself as an example. As soon as I found out that he was in Hydra after
Mhm.
issue 1, I was like, oh man, I gotta buy this. It might be
Yeah.
And then when I found out that they buckled and they made him, and they were just like, nah, just kidding, bro.
I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
yeah.
We're just messing with you because the 30 people
Yeah.
complained on Twitter and we
And-
listened to
But
them.
it made sense
I
because...
didn't buy issue 2,
Yeah.
and I
It-
got turned off to the whole thing because I was like, oh, he's just gonna be Captain America.
Yeah,
again.
like, he wasn't, no, but still, he wasn't Captain America, like, oh yeah, Captain America, you know what, I'm just gonna be bad now. No. He was put under control of Red Skull.
Yeah.
It makes
was-
sense.
It was a good angle that they
Yes.
just like immediately dropped for
and
some
then-
stupid
and now
reason.
they're just going back to it.
Now they're reverting because I guess they realized, oh shit, our
It was a
sales.
good idea.
Not even just that, I'm pretty sure their sales dropped and they were like, well, we gotta do something to shake it up. Because, you know, I'm sure the sales were great for issue 1, and then issue 2 they were okay, but like probably still good, and then it just slowly kept dropping because it got boring. A lot of that is happening with a lot of Marvel titles
Exactly.
because they're trying to do a lot of things according to what people on social media are doing, which is not the best thing that you should do for anything because who knows your product better than the people creating the damn product,
Dun, dun, dun.
you know?
Bunch of yotas.
Some fans, yeah, some fans have great ideas. A lot of fans have great ideas, but not all of them. And most of them if they're just complaining on Twitter, they're casual fans anyway. So you probably shouldn't listen to them. Also,
Probably
you shouldn't
not.
listen. No company should listen to anyone complaining on social media.
No.
That's basically what social media has become. It went from being a cool place to just kind of share your ideas with everyone, and just exchange ideas with people from across the world, and be civil about it, to becoming a place where everybody just complains about everything, and then everybody just pretends to be mad about it and
Yeah, pretty
pretends to
much.
be complaining. So, well, the best thing to do is just ignore them and do whatever you want if you're a big company, because honestly, what the hell is a bunch of tweets gonna do? They're gonna tweet about something else in an hour. They don't have a high attention span, so stop listening to them.
Yeah, is your rant done with that now?
Yes.
Okay. Guardians 2. What do you give it? What is your final grade?
My final grade is 8.5.
I'll give it an 8, because that's what I gave Guardians.
Okay.
It wasn't better than the first one. It was the same as the first one.
But
I
it
had
was
a lot
just
of
as
fun.
fun. Just as
Yeah.
fun.
You know, so. Alrighty.
Alright.
So, next up.
Well, before that, I'd like to address the critics
Yeah,
who panned this movie.
they did.
You guys are a bunch of jerks.
Bunch
You're
of
wrong.
jerks.
The movie was fine.
Yes, it was. You
I
bunch
think
of
we should give them a very
critics.
large incorporated Degeneration X style of suck it. This is for you critics. Guardians ruled. Okay. My balls hurt, so now we're done.
You actually hit your balls on that one?
Yeah. Yeah, I gave him a real big suck it.
I suck it. Alrighty.
Alrighty.
This brings us to our next thing.
Which, we've got two trailers came out this week.
We're going to review them very quickly. For
Yes,
you
we
people.
are. The first is Inhumans. Check it out, kids. It's kind of groovy.
Show good.
Are we supposed to follow our king and remain as silent as he is?
No.
I don't know the Inhumans are. Oh, they're just going to show the name Inhumans? That's it?
This is what the teaser is.
Yes.
Freedom for all Inhumans.
And just
I
voiceovers.
mean, the
That's
Inhumans
it.
look cool, but
Yeah. Yeah, the pictures they do look pretty cool.
Yep.
Yep. Nothing. Great. No. Oh, on ABC. Oh, great. Oh, so glad that. What is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like some.
That's all we got for you people.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that was kind of a waste. We're sorry.
Sorry about that.
I thought there'd be more to it.
There was supposed to be.
Well, they're stupid.
We're actually going to do a trailer.
Now we're gonna do a real trailer.
Yes, we are.
This was dropped a few days ago.
Bless.
Bless you. This is for the Netflix series Marvel's The
The
Defenders. This we have heavily talked about. We're all,
Jessica Jones.
yeah, here she is. There's Misty Knight, looking fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Jessica Jones, stop talking.
And we got Matt Murdock.
It's your boy in the building.
That's right. Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Luke Cage, man.
Luke Cage.
Actual life. Right now, I just want to help people.
Of course, there's our Johnson's Claire.
Yep.
There's something that you need to meet.
And there's the worst character.
There's Iron
Iron
Fist.
Fist, which he can't be any worse.
So
You have to look at that way.
yeah, he seems like he's better off.
And he
He
just
seems
got
like
beat down.
he seems like he's more adjusted to the character in this though.
He has to be. Like I said,
Immortal Iron Fist.
he can't go anywhere. What? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Same side. You
I
fool.
love the song.
Yes. I love this version of Come As You Are.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
The smart ass detective.
And of course, who brings them together? Your boy, Stick.
Stick.
And the kid with the glowing fist.
And I cannot believe they're bringing her back.
Oh,
yeah.
be very lovely and talented.
Oh yes. And of course, your main villain,
Holy crap.
looking evil as hell.
Sigourney Weaver.
Old as hell too, but
Oh, she's about to put on that grandma
Oh, yeah.
pantsuit.
Connections you have,
Yeah.
the easier it will be to break you.
There she is. Angry grandma.
and of course, oof. Yeah, she ain't happy.
Yeah.
There she is in the background. Oof.
Just whooping ass. Very cool.
Very cool.
You make fun of Jim.
No.
What are you talking about? Bulletproof. Blind ninja. Whatever it is you are.
Classy.
Hmm.
See, he's got a little bit more.
Yeah, it seems like he's getting more into the role.
But like I keep saying, he can't get any worse. He couldn't.
Yeah, if he could, he'd be Hayden Christensen as
He's
the
gonna
as
have
Anakin
three.
Skywalker.
He's gonna have 3 good actors helping him.
Yeah. Well, also, he's got a better cast to play off of this time around, so I think everything will be
Well, I
fine.
thought his cast was fine. Like I said, if you watch Iron Fist season 1, which I did complete.
I
Just
did
watch
not.
it for everything else but him,
I saw.
and you will like
I
it.
saw the first 3 episodes, and I really. I kind of shied away from it and just started watching One Punch Man, to be honest with you. Which is awesome, by the way.
Yes, I heard it's awesome. I will get into that. But you know, and like, you know, just quickly here, I just recently finished watching Jessica Jones again for a second full time, and it is behind, of course, both Daredevil seasons. It's my third favorite
Yep.
of the Marvel. You know, to me, it's better than Luke Cage because to me, overall, it was every episode to me was really well. Again, I think Luke Cage kind of ended off a little and then, you know, sadly, Iron Fist to me was just the worst because of Iron Fist. But like I said, if you watch it for all the other characters, it's actually really good.
Yeah, my dad actually ended up he ended up rewatching all of them again because he can't wait for this thing. He'll
I know.
probably do it a third time
I
too.
have to watch all of them again myself, but I just watched Jessica Jones, so I'll...
So I've been just kind of
Daredevil.
going back and forth watching it with him, and yeah, I'm starting to like some of them the second and, well, I guess third time around for Daredevil now, because he actually rewatched the whole series twice again, because he's a maniac.
That's a maniac. We gotta get him on this show again.
This man just loves his Netflix shows.
He does. But, yeah. I
But-
think that's gonna,
Yeah, looks like that's all the time we have for today.
yeah.
Mostly because your laptop dictates that we do, and
Well,
we don't
that's
want it
good.
to die on us.
We're at our mark, though.
We're at our mark.
We are.
And it's 2:55 in the morning, so we're gonna try to get some shut-eye, kids. Which means we're not gonna get any shut-eye.
Probably
But that's
not.
okay, because it's Saturday now. And
It
Saturdays
is.
are Catterdays, if you have a cat. If you have a dog, it's just Saturday with
That's
your
why
dog.
we're happy, because if it was Monday, we'd be pissed off.
Yes.
Why would we be pissed off? Because we hate fucking Mondays.
That's why we have this show titled Fuck Mondays. I'm Chris.
And I'm John.
Peace out, homies.
Deuces.
Happy birthday, Spaceman Frank.
Happy B-Day, bruh.
Don't listen to the critics. They're bad. Just like drugs.
Fuck the critics,
Except-
just like Mondays.
Yes. Bye-bye now.